This Record Store Day was an awesome day for Big L fans. Record Store Day, at least these days, I mean, I guess if you don't know it all, Record Store Day is just a day kind of put together by record labels and stores and, kind of all pulled together to make a little bit of holiday to celebrate record stores, just like it sounds like. So, it's definitely a very commercially invented holiday. But, to celebrate the mom and pop stores as opposed to the big commercial chains and, classic vinyl as opposed to MP3s and all that kind of stuff. And every Record Store Day, labels come together with a bunch of exclusive Record Store Day releases, which, all the mom and pop record stores sell. And they're pretty cool stuff. But unfortunately, well, first of all, a lot of it is like rock and punk and other genres, which, as a pure hip-hop guy, I don't care about. So push that out of the way first. But then after that, it's like a lot of represses of pretty common stuff. It's like, hey, you want to buy this album that you could already buy the original of a lot cheaper? Well, here's a repress. Great. And sometimes, it's cool, like for Warner Brothers called Chillin' Records, like some of those original LPs, the sound quality was a little daft. They tried to squeeze too many songs onto a single LP and the volume was low. So sometimes, represses are awesome, and sometimes they're repressing something that's rare and hard to find. But a lot of times, like lately in the last couple of years, I'm looking at the record store lists of what's coming out this year. And it's like, crap. Oh boy, sell me more of what I already own. Excited about that. But this year, there's something dope. And it's Big L, the Devil's Son EP. Now, the title Devil's Son should, of course, be very familiar to any Big L fan. Of course, it's a song that came out. There's a 12-inch right there in 1993. That's not an original pressing. That's a repress. It has a red label. The original was white. But whatever. Columbia 12-inch. Pretty major release. It was his first big major single. His first single at all, really. And it's what kind of got him signed to Columbia, and he came out with his album after that. And there's originally talk of that being on his debut album as one of the tracks, but sort of towards the last minute, he cut it off. In fact, there are promo cassette and CD versions of the original LP with a slightly different track listing, which includes The Devil's Son. But anyway, it's a classic song. It's a horrorcore song, so it's Big L really going kind of far out, which made a lot of noise and a lot of buzz for him in the beginning. So you can kind of see why people were hoping it would be on the album because it's classic Big L. But on the other hand, it was a song you already had, and so the more unreleased new music you could get, the better. So you can kind of see why you want to leave it off, because by then it was sort of like a year old. So the name Devil's Son has been associated with Big L like forever. I mean, even like just a couple years ago, when they released one of the many, bootleg compilation albums of quote-unquote lost Big L tracks, and it's a lot of bootleg stuff that's been released before. It's called Return of the Devil's Son, and they made a big deal about saying, oh, we got the original masters, but then, oh no, actually it's just sort of like the same kind of ripped from MP3s that have been floating around the internet like everything else and stuff. So, a decent compilation album of just collecting obscure and random freestyles and, unreleased tracks, but nothing exceptional, nothing we didn't already have before. Fortunately, this Devil's Son EP is nothing like that Return of the Devil's Son. This is legit. It is from Sony Columbia. It is stuff that, the Devil's Son is the first song on here, and that is right from the 12-inch. So that's nothing really new. And the second track is the instrumental, which was also the B-side to the 12-inch. So that's nothing new. But still, for a lot of heads who didn't have this original 12-inch from 93, it's kind of cool to have on here. And it fits with everything else that's on here, which is more exciting. Because this is a 5-song EP, or 6 if you count the instrumental. And some of the other tracks on here, Times is Hard, School Days, and Shoulda Used a Rubber, are 3 tracks that were also originally going to be on Big L's debut album. And here we go. Big L's first album. This is the commercially released version that we all know and love. There are promo versions, like I said before, that had Devil's Son on it, and also those other 3 songs on it. And they're as good as anything else by Big L from that period. Produced by Buck Wild and Lord Finesse. Like, these are not whack tracks that didn't make the final cut. These are dope songs that should have been released all along, that fans have been after for years. And again, we've heard them before. This is not, oh my god, unreleased Big L, where'd this come from stuff. These have been released on, in fact, I think at least a couple of them were on that Return of the Devil's Son album I mentioned, and also other of those kind of shady bootleg compilations like Lennox 139 and, these other Big L albums and white label 12 inches. There's a Mr. MVP 12-inch EP from Japan, which is pretty well known, kind of a collector's item. It's a Japanese bootleg, but because those tracks are so sought after, even that sells for a pricey amount now. The one song, and also in particular Shoulda Used a Rubber, was also a promo track on a Japanese CD version of Lifestyles of Poor and Dangerous. So these tracks have been around forever, but finally, because this is coming from Sony Columbia, these are actually originally mastered from the original tape recording, so it sounds great. This is far better sound quality than anything we've heard before. Everything else has always been ripped from cassettes and promos and MP3s and low quality stuff. that have been passed around for years and years and years and years. And finally now, for the first time since those promo tapes, which the promo tapes were professionally mastered, but they were cassettes, so, sound quality is going to be a little down. Here, full quality, Sony, nice LP, it's nice solid thick wax, like it's really nicely pressed, sounds great. This is like finally the proper official version. And like I said, even those Mr. MVP EPs and stuff are pretty valuable. So even if they weren't an improvement, this would be a nice collection just to get all those songs together for a reasonable, because this is not a crazy limited inflated price. It's just like $20 or whatever you buy for at a record store as a full LP. Nice, awesome picture cover, by the way. Couple stickers. One, the Big L sticker, the Record Store Day sticker, and then some kind of goofy certified hip-hop classic, which I don't know who's doing that certification. I mean, it certainly applies to this EP, but I don't know what else they put in their certified line, and again, who's making that decision. And I did mention it's 5 songs, and you'll notice I've only talked about 4 songs. So the last song, sort of the odd man out, is The Unexpected Flavor, which is sort of co-produced by Lord Finesse and Large Professor. So that's a great combination right there. It's a great track. It's another vintage Big L track that I've been a fan of for a long time. Again, that we've heard for a long time. But unlike the other tracks, this one was already kind of re-released and given proper sound quality and restored on those No Sleep records. It was actually as like a Lord Finesse EP, because again, Lord Finesse was one of the producers. So there's a bunch of unreleased Lord Finesse stuff, and they included this song, The Unexpected Flavor. It sounded great. And then it was also reissued on CD and stuff. So that song's actually been around for a little bit of a while. So not as exciting as the other tracks, because again, if you're a hardcore fan, you probably already got it, even on official release, high-quality professional vinyl, as opposed to just these MP3s and stuff that the other songs have been on. But, again, a felt album with another song is cool to have on here. It's actually a little surprising why they made this choice. There's certainly a lot of other Big L songs that have been floating out there, like No Wins, No Skins, Games Females Play. So there's just a lot of Big L songs like that. And you're like, well, why didn't they pick this one or that one? And it feels like sort of an arbitrary choice. And I don't know. I mean, maybe just a guy putting this together, working for Sony, like threw a dart at a dartboard or just picked his personal favorite. Anyway, it's a dope song. It's cool to have on here. It is kind of rare still, because those No Sleep records are a little pricey and hard to find. So nice to have on here as a final 6 track, but not again as exciting as the other tracks. Really, what's great about it is that it works as an addendum, an epilogue, whatever you want to call it, to Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous. Like, finally, here are the other songs from that album that never actually made that album. So if you own that album on cassette, CD, or wax, you're missing those tracks. Finally, with this and that LP together, you've got the full Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous experience, unless, again, you count some of those other demo tracks and stuff that could have been included. It's really surprising, in fact, that when Traffic reissued Lifestyles of Poor and Dangerous as a big, fancy double LP, picture cover and all, really kind of high quality, that they didn't include these tracks. I was really surprised at the time they didn't, but now I'm far less concerned, because you can just pick up this EP and that seals the deal. We've waited all these years to finally get songs like School Days, Times is Hard, and proper sound quality. And again, these are great Big L tracks on vinyl. And speaking of which, it also does come with a little promo. I'll cover up the sticker there, but download cards. You can also download high-quality MP3s that came with the vinyls inside the sleeve. So nice little extra bonus. Obviously, vinyl is the way to go, but I do love it just for convenience sake when I do throw in things like a download card with it. So glad to have that as well. So I don't even think I'm going to bother with sound clips this time, because again, these songs have been out there for ages. They're certainly all over YouTube. You can listen to all of them. The big difference and the big deal here is that you can own them on vinyl and a high quality official release picture cover, proper non-bootleg, no shadiness, and finally, particularly in the case of the 3 songs, in the 100% proper sound quality, and it sounds great. Because really, those old recordings did sound kind of low quality, kind of tinny, definitely lo-fi, not terrible, definitely listenable, but they definitely sound a lot better here, and on par with the rest of the album. So a record store is long over, but apparently a lot of these were pressed. It's still not hard to find. In fact, it's probably actually easier to find now, because, on Record Store Day, a lot of the record stores like to keep it exclusive for their in-store, try to bring people to their store. Of course, that's what Record Store Day is all about. But now that's a little bit past. They're all putting them up online. They're putting them up on eBay, on Discogs, on Amazon. And I'm finding them, like I got mine for a perfectly reasonable price, like it was not an inflated crazy price, and I see plenty more. So now is the time to get them. I just finally ordered this the other week and just got it the other day. So, and I've been listening to it and loving it. So this is the time. So Big L, the Devil's Son EP from the vaults, Sony Columbia, Record Store Day 2017. killer release. Really excited about it. Also, the only thing this year from Record Store Day that I care about at all. So, bam.